Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks for making your way here for checking out the episode. Please do hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with all the interviews that I put out every single week. You can also grab the podcast version at Spotify, Apple Podcast, NPR, WFPK.org, Consequence, or right here on YouTube for the video versions. Anywhere you get your podcast from, you can subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. That's me, Kyle Meredith. Today, I am so excited to be talking to a living legend, Lou Gramm. You know him as the original lead singer and co-founder of Foreigner, a band who has sold more than 80 million records worldwide. Lou is in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Foreigner is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary. And Lou, who's sort of retired from the band sometimes halfway, he's popping back up on shows for some select dates to celebrate this 50th anniversary, not just of the band, but also the 40th anniversary of their album Four, which has unreleased songs on it. Not just songs they dug in the vault and brought out, but songs that they went to the vault and said, these are great songs. They're sort of unfinished, so let's finish them. So we're going to be talking about that process. We're going to be talking about what it takes to get him back up on the stage with the band. Of course, he still tours with the Lou Gramm Band, and they've got new music on the way. His first new album in a very, very long time. So I want to hear all about that. We're going to talk about some old songs and some classics and some deep cuts as well. So let's get into this. It's Kyle Meredith with Lou Gramm of Foreigner.
Hey, how are you all?
I see that you're going to be playing back with singing with Foreigner again. Let's see a couple shows here at the Capitol Theater, December 3rd and
Yeah.
4th. What does it take to get back on stage with the band these days? Like why this show specifically?
Well, it's the 50th anniversary, I believe, of the I don't know if it's of the band or the Four album. I
Yeah,
think
of
it's
the band. Yeah,
the
right.
band. Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny
And
how those anniversaries all get jumbled up in the
at
past.
some point they do, yeah. And I think it's another anniversary for the Foreigner Four album.
Hmm.
That's been re-recorded and released, and it's out now. And there were some songs that were recorded during the time of that album that weren't finished and they didn't make it onto the album. But here it is, all these years later. I went back and dug up those songs, and they were really good. They just weren't finished, so we finished them, and they're out as singles now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one of those.
"Fool If You Love Me."
I was thinking Love So Much Better.
Oh yeah,
Like it that is one of those things like okay, so I don't know what the unfinished state exactly sounded like, but even hearing this, it's like to have been swinging as hard as you guys were on that Four album, to for that album to have already been so much packed, like these songs could have been on an album.
yes they could, definitely. There just wasn't time to finish them, and you couldn't put more than 10 or 11 songs on the album.
Hmm.
You tried to keep it to 10 because if you did more than 10, the quality, the space between the cuts on the album would start to distort.
Yeah, right, right. So you have to pick and choose which ones at that point, right? Like, do
Yeah,
you remember why you guys didn't choose these? Was it just because they weren't finished at the time?
that's all.
That's it.
That's the reason, yeah. Because hearing them finished now, they could have made some of them could have made the album.
Yeah. So what did it take to get these across the finish line?
Well, they were two-thirds done. I think most of the things I had to do, I had to sing one more verse and do the ad libs on the out chorus, and maybe a guitar solo or something.
Mhm. And that's it. So when you're doing something like that, when you're sort of future pasting,
Yes,
it's something like that, present pasting or whatever. Like, do you feel that need to reconnect to whatever that was back then?
I hadn't even thought about those songs in 3 decades,
Yeah.
and or more, and to hear them again really ignited something in me. And when I found out that they were going to be finished and included in this package, and they wanted me to go back in and finish the vocals and put some harmonies on them and stuff, and ad libs. it was a real pleasure to put the 24 track on there and hear the sounds as they were back in that day, you know,
Yeah.
and then sing to them, you know, and I kind of had to match my vocals back from that day too, you know.
I think that's what I'm getting at, like right there. Like your voice is still in great shape from everything that I hear, but but is that a challenge? Is it like, oh, how do I make myself sound somewhat similar to what it would have been?
Well, what I did do was I had an open vocal track, and I would sing along with the song, and then we would listen to the two of them together. And if I needed to sing with a little more grit or a little more bite on it, then I could do that, and we ended up matching the vocal sounds to a T.
Oh man, how lucky.
Yes, very lucky.
Yeah, to get that. Those songs really are. They're such a gift to have those because it is one of those things like, wow. And I'm just repeating myself at this point because to look back and just think like you guys were already writing so many incredible songs. The fact that you still
Thank you.
had those in your back pocket, that's
You know
but
what? I honestly could say that every album we recorded, we had enough for the album, and there was always two or three extra ones that were either finished and not quite up to snuff, or just as good, but not quite. We didn't have the time to finish them because we had a deadline that if we wanted the album out at a certain point, we had to have all the songs that were going to be on the album done. And we did have all the songs, but then we saw the other ones that were almost finished and knew how good they were and couldn't do anything about it.
yeah,
But after the album was recorded and we toured and we did another album and all that stuff, we forgot about the ones that were good that didn't make it until a couple of years ago when we started listening to the also rans,
hmm yeah.
and we got to finish this and get it, put it out,
Are there more still in the vaults?
From every album there's two or three.
Yeah. So like, is this something you could see you all doing more of?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we're not going to focus on it because
Yeah.
we want to do new music too, but I think the fans love it when we dig something up from the past that wasn't finished, finish it and put it out. They love that because
Yeah.
it was that special time and place, you know.
I'm glad to hear you say, doing the new music too, but even just like your um what's the word? It's not back. Everything is the back catalog, but these deeper cuts is I guess is what I'm getting at too, because I'm looking at like I know you're also out. You still do your Lou Gramm Band solo runs,
Absolutely, yes.
and I'm looking at the set list, and I'm like, man, you probably have to make some tough decisions because it's very foreigner heavy, and you've got what is it? Midnight Blue is in there, but I'm like the fact that Lost in the Shadows isn't in there, knowing that you have those early recordings, like there was that early recording release like 10 or 12 years ago, right?
Yes.
Like what's Won't Somebody Take Her Home?
Oh, that was when I was in high school.
Yeah, which still sounds like it could have been a hit, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah,
But
for,
that's what I'm
for
getting
a
at
bunch of
is
kids, you know.
yeah, right. And I'm sure that how you hear it is very different than how I hear it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
But that's my point. It's like when you go out on these shows, do you have those ones you're like, oh man, I'd really like to play these live too. It's not a hit, but can we put it in the show?
Well, the ones that we're playing that were from the Foreigner four times that didn't make it to the album. I was put in charge of finishing the lead vocals. The guitar player put more leads on it, and we put more chorus vocals on it and stuff like that. And some of those are released now
Mhm.
and doing very well. So when we play live, we're going to play them too.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Have you ever done like a full deep cuts show, like fan serving, hardcore fan only kind of a thing?
Where they tell me what they'd like to hear.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably have over the years.
Yeah. That'd be a fun show to hear right there. It's
Very
like no
interesting.
hits.
It's very no. Well, if they want to hear a hit, we'll play the hit. But
Sure.
but but their pick of other songs that they want to hear really is an eye opener.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Because I guess that's kind of what I said a minute ago, how you hear things, how we hear things. Like you might hear like, we didn't quite nail it on that song, and that song's probably somebody's favorite song.
Yes, whether we thought we nailed it or not.
Yeah. It's funny how that relationship kind of happens. So when you do get back on stage with Foreigner, like how do you choose which songs you're going to sing? Because you're sharing those vocal duties, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So how do you pick?
Well, they obviously let me pick first, and I'm only doing 4 or 5 songs,
Mhm.
and so I pick, not all the great ones. There's a lot of great ones, but just some of my favorites that I like singing. I get to pick those, and so we scatter them throughout the set.
It's nice that they give you first dibs. That would have been pretty rotten otherwise.
I think so too. I might have told them nothing doing.
I was kind of laughing too because when I look at some of the shows that you do pop up on, I thought I wonder if this has to do with proximity because the Ellis Island Capitol Theater is like these are sort of close to your home, right? It's like
Yeah.
you just
No, but those are the ones that Foreigner is doing we're going to be playing because it's the 45th, I think 45th or 40th anniversary of the Foreigner 4 album.
Mhm.
That's what this short tour that we're doing coming up is about. It's to celebrate the anniversary of the Foreigner 4 album. So we're on those shows. I think there's six of them. We're doing the whole 4 album in its entirety, from top to bottom in the same running order that the record is. And when we finish that, then we're going to do I Want to Know What Love Is in Jukebox Hero and a bunch of other ones.
Nice.
But that's going to be fun doing the whole 4 album.
So it's more about the album celebration and less about do I get to keep my house keys in my pocket?
Yes, you've got it now. Now you understand.
It's all right. I wouldn't blame you otherwise. I wouldn't. It's you know.
Well, being an old road dog, back when 404 was out and we were touring, we toured a year and a half to support that album, and only got home for maybe 2 or 3 weekends throughout that whole year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
hear
I remember I had young children at that time, and when I did get home, I got dropped off by the bus at about 2:30 in the morning at my house, you know, and I went in and I turned the alarm off and I walked in and I shut the door and I locked it and I heard tutum, 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 and I peeked around the corner and it was my son Matthew, who at that time was about 3 years old, and he was holding onto the railing, walking down the stairs from his bedroom. And I peeked around the corner and I says, Matthew, I says, Daddy's home. I had a big smile and I waved to him, and he smiles at me and all of a sudden he goes, Mommy! He didn't recognize me.
I mean, that's funny, but that's also like completely heartbreaking. Like I
Yes, it
have friends
is.
who have had that story. Like, why is the guy who mows our lawn staying all night right now?
I don't like that story.
Yeah. It's kind of, but that's, I mean, it is interesting, like how artists have sort of taken a little bit more control of, what we say of their mental health these days.
Yes.
It's like to do that kind of schedule that we all did for, the first 40 or 50 years of this rock and roll business, it's like that's probably a good thing that isn't exactly the norm these days.
No, it's not. It's not anymore. I think artists can take more control of their personal lives.
Mhm.
You can't go out there and beat yourself up just for the almighty dollar, because it takes a toll after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. As you know, I mean, even, when I look at your career in the wide scope, when we get to the 90s and you've come out of rehab, like like did you consciously redirect your whole career at that point? Was that more about taking control?
For me, it was. I mean, we were I was still touring with Foreigner, but for me, I would sit in the back lounge by myself while the rest of the guys were in the main cabin playing cards and everything else. And a year or two earlier, I was right there with them.
Yeah.
But I made the conscious decision that's not what I wanted anymore for my life. And I've been about 34 years sober now.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you.
But I'm guessing that was still probably pretty hard to do in the 90s because we weren't to the point we're talking about now.
No, definitely not. And I used to be sitting in the back lounge by myself, watching a movie on the monitor screen, and I would hear them laughing and having fun playing cards, and I hear, you know, I'd hear everything, you know. And then when I'd leave that back room to go use the bathroom, I'd come out of the bathroom and I can remember Rick Wills standing up and putting his arm around me, and he was shocked, you know. And he goes, "Lou, I've got to tell you, we're all so proud of you for what you've done, you know." And I said, "Thanks, Rick." He says, "You were a mess." You know, he's telling me I was a mess.
Right, as
He,
he is looking like that.
yes, it was
Yeah.
very, very, it was definitely mind blowing.
Yeah, I bet. But you did the work. I mean, you did. You still got on the stage, you did the work, you brought the show and lived to tell the tale, as they say.
I mean, after I did get sober, and I was still playing with the band, I had some of my best shows of my career.
Yeah. Yeah. And to go on and, do the Lou Graham Band, which,
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, to keep that going and everything. And and I know you've sort of hinted in the past, right? About, I mean, you just said it a minute ago about writing new music. I mean, is that who you're writing the music with?
No, I have a friend of mine who was in my solo bands.
Mhm.
His name is Bruce Turgan, and he eventually became the bass player in Foreigner for about 10 years. And he and I have been friends since we were teenagers. And he plays bass. He's played with a lot of great bands and musicians over the years. And we wrote songs together back in the day. And when I got him in Foreigner, he was a participating songwriter too. And I think that's when Foreigner sounded its best, actually.
Hmm.
So I'm still in touch with him, and he helped me write songs for my upcoming solo album, which is being released in March.
In March. Well,
Yeah,
tell me more about this. I mean,
yeah.
what can we expect?
Well, once again, I've been working on this album for about over 2 years, and I have been looking through my backlog of songs that were great songs but were unfinished and didn't make it to the cut on my records,
Hmm.
and went back and finished some of them, and they're awesome songs. So I'm taking some new songs that were written and some of the older songs that deserve to be on the album, finished them up, polished them up, and they're on the album. So it's a little conglomerate of past and present.
Yeah. Wow. So you're looking at March for that.
March for the album. I think the single's going to be early February.
Cannot wait to hear that.
Yeah, it rocks hard, boy.
Yeah. It's it, and I was also thinking about your songwriting and maybe I'm looking for a thread that's really not there, but knowing that, way back when you started as a drummer, right? Like you
Yes.
started or like, do you think there's a thing, can you tell when singers were drummers? Like,
Oh,
does
yeah,
that
there's a lot of them. Phil Collins.
Sure, right. Yeah. Even Chris Cornell, Soundgarden,
Yes.
we have those, but like does having your beginnings as a drummer influence how you are as a singer?
Yes, definitely. The rhythm of it. How I phrase things and place them in a song is much, I think, much different if you listen carefully than a singer who is not a drummer. You know,
Mhm.
not I'm not putting those people down, but when you have the background in rhythm, then your singing plays off that rhythm.
Mhm. Yeah. And so you get a big rock record coming in.
Yes, I hope it's going to be a big rock record. It's all good songs, and I've been at an album out in a while, and I'm hoping that it attracts some attention and some support from the fans.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people have been waiting for this for a while, myself included. So I don't think you have a lot of problems with that, especially pairing it up, as you were saying, with these tracks on this Foreigner 4 Deluxe Edition. Like just knowing that you're going back and doing those tracks too. Like what an exciting time to be a fan.
It really is. Yes, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'll be looking forward to that. And again, you popping up on stage with Foreigner and those moments and celebrating this 50th anniversary. What an incredible catalog and history that you all have.
it's a great time in my career too. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, 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 playing the hits and playing old new stuff.
Mhm.
Whatever. Yeah.
Digging it out. All right.
Yes.
Well, Lou, it was such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for giving me the time today.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and we'll see you
We're
out
gonna
there on the road.
we're gonna see you on any of the shows in the Northeast.
Yes, it's on my checklist for the new year. So,
Awesome.
all right. Well,
All
take
right.
care. We'll see you
Thank you.
around. And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.